I'm going to answer the questions from the Hey Sweds blog.
Shave it up!
What's up, everybody? So I have a couple of friends actually, that I went to college with and worked with while we were in college, and he married a girl from Sweden, and they are living in Sweden right now. They have a couple of little girls, and they have a video blog series called the Hey Sweds blog. You can check them out. I'll provide a link down in the description below. And he reached out to me and said, hey, I have some questions for you about shaving. And so I would love to collaborate on this video and try to get your responses to my shaving questions. I said, great, bring them on. So here's a little intro into the video that he did asking me the questions.
Hey guys, this special clip is actually just some questions that I had from my buddy Scott over at The Clean Shaver, link down below. And you know what? I hope he answers them. I hope he uses this video and answers them, because I legitimately have some of these questions. Let me ask you, what soap should I use if I don't have one of my nice little kits with me and I'm just stuck here with hand soap or another soap? Should I just skip shaving? Would I need to run out and buy some, or was this getaway of doing it worth the while?
So my response to that would be that it's really up to you. I know that for a while I would actually shave with lotion, depending on what I needed to shave, right? If it was with my neck or my head or my face, whatever. I would sometimes shave with lotion, just get my face really good and wet and use the lotion to help provide some lubrication, because that's really what your soap is doing, is providing lubrication and some cushioning for that blade going over the skin. So that's something I would do. You can also use bar soap if you're really in a pinch. Say you're at a hotel, you forgot all your shaving stuff, you can certainly use a bar soap and just kind of lather it up thick on your hands and then rub it into your beard, and that'll help to provide some glide at least. That's really what you're looking for. Other people like to use shave oils. I've shaved with coconut oil before. It works. But really just about anything that you use that's going to provide some lubrication, some protection for your skin is probably going to do okay in a pinch. Ideally, shaving soap or cream would be best.
Clean Shaver, what's your opinion on going against the grain versus going with the grain?
So, my opinion about going with the grain versus against the grain. I never go against the grain first. The only exception being on my head, because I have some practice doing it. Especially if you're a new shaver, I wouldn't advise you to go against the grain at all, at least until you've got your razor legs, if that's a thing. At least until you've got a good feel for how you shave and the appropriate way to shave. I would go with the grain and then across the grain first. And once you get a good feel for that, you're not getting any irritation or anything like that, then bring in the against the grain just a little bit. But in general, don't go against the grain unless you have done a couple of reduction passes first.
How do you avoid razor burn and rashes?
So to avoid razor burn and rashes, there's really a few things. First is proper preparation for a shave. So you want to make sure that your skin is well hydrated and well prepared, well lubricated and protected. So a good soap, a good pre-shave lotion or oil may help. I always shave right after I shower so that I know that my hair and my skin is well hydrated. So that's something that I would do to avoid the razor bumps. Another thing is resisting the temptation to apply pressure with a razor. Oftentimes with the cartridge razors, especially the Mach 3 type where you have the real flexible cartridge there, you get used to just pushing it right into your skin, and that's not what you want to do with a double edge or a safety razor. You want to just let the weight of the razor do the work for you. It applies enough pressure on its own. You just kind of provide the movement. You don't provide the pressure.
How do you avoid pulling those hairs when you're shaving?
So to avoid pulling the hairs when you're shaving, there's a couple things that you can do actually. One is you can use a hair trimmer. If your hair is really long, you can just use a pair of hair clippers like they use in a barbershop to trim down your beard to an appropriate length to where it's shavable. The other thing you can do is you can use what's called an open comb razor. Open comb razors have these teeth on them that allow more of the hair to pass through than a closed bar razor would. An open comb razor will allow for more growth to be shaved off with less effort. Some people really like the open comb feel. Some people really like the closed bar feel. I like both. It really doesn't matter. Another thing is having a good sharp blade. If you have a dull blade, you're going to get a terrible shave, and it's going to tug, it's going to pull, and that's especially applicable in straight razors. If it's not properly honed or properly sharp, it's not going to be a fun experience.
Should you shave with hot water or cold water?
Shaving with hot water and cold water really is just a preference thing. I generally shave with warm water. And I know, so that's like right in the middle. But I've done cold water shaves, I've done hot water shaves. Usually I'm in the middle somewhere. The reason why is just based on how I feel. If I've been working really hard that day, I'm feeling really warm, then a cool shave feels fantastic. If it's cold outside, I really like a hot shave. But generally, I just stick with warm water just because it helps to open up the pores. It helps to produce the feeling of that warm lather just feels so good, and it helps to relax you. But you can do either one. Generally, I recommend the warm water, but I have done cold water shaves that have been very refreshing, especially with a mentholated soap or mentholated aftershave. Feels really good on a hot summer's day.
Does it really matter what kind of razor I use? If I use the Gillette 5 or 2 blade or 1 blade or types of razors you use? Like, does it really make a difference in my skin and the way my face feels and the way my hairs grow?
So the answer to this question, I happen to be a little bit biased, but that's why I have this channel. Obviously, I want you to use a double-edged razor, at least a double-edged razor. You could use a vintage single-edge razor, even a modern single-edge razor. I want you to get away from those cartridge razors. But cartridge razors, I mean, they make it quick and easy for people, so they have their place. Are they the ideal way to shave? Probably not, because cartridge razors, especially the multi-blade cartridge razors, have a process of making you get that super smooth shave. The first 3 or 4 blades, or however many blades they have, the first set will work at pulling the hair out of the skin. So pulling the hair follicle out even, until that last blade comes along and slices it off. Then that hair dips down below the level of the skin, which causes those razor bumps, it causes that irritation, it causes the ingrown hairs, the whiteheads, all that kind of crap that some guys don't have a problem with it. I just happen to not be one of them. So I found a different alternative in traditional shaving with a double edge or a single edge razor, even a straight razor, and it works really well for me. That's what I would encourage you to use. Something that is not a cartridge razor like the Gillette Mach 3, Fusion, Schick, Quattros, those kinds of things. They all do the same thing and irritate most guys' skin.
Is it worth investing that much money and time?
That's an opinion thing again. To me, yeah, absolutely. Because I really enjoy it. It's something that is me time. It's an opportunity for me to, obviously I've gotten involved with the shaving community, and it's a hobby for me. So I'm going to say yes. And for most guys, it's a worthwhile endeavor because it gives them a better shave. It gives them a better experience. Yeah, it'll take more time. Yeah, it might cost you a little bit more money up front, but in the long run, it's a much more economical way to go, especially if you only do one razor, one brush, one soap, one aftershave, that kind of thing. If you don't get into this, like me, then it's not that expensive, really, in the long run. There might be some expense up front, but in the long run, it's really not expensive at all. As for time is relative. It all depends on how much time you feel like you have and how much time you're willing to take to do it. For me, I really enjoy it. And on the days that I don't feel like I have time to shave, I don't shave. Oh well, big whoop. But on days that I do want to shave, I know that I can take the time to enjoy it and to relax. It's my me time. It's my zen time. So biased opinion here, I think it's absolutely worth it.
Serious question. Is it worth it for somebody like myself who doesn't have to shave that often to try out this hobby? I'm gonna call it a hobby of clean shaving with these razors and soaps and routines. Is it worth time? Should I give it a try? Or am I better off sticking to these little dealios since I don't shave that often and, well, I don't enjoy it because I haven't had a good experience. You know what I mean? So what do you think?
If you haven't had a good experience, I'd say it's worth a shot. I mean, granted, even if you don't have to shave that often, you'll probably get to the point where you do. And most guys, even if they don't have a dark or thick beard, they still have the I shouldn't say thick, I mean dense, like lots of hairs close together kind of beard. Even if you don't have that, it's still worth looking into because it will offer you a better experience. Again, it's your preference. It's something that I would recommend for you if you are looking for something better. If you're satisfied with what you have, go ahead and keep doing it. But if you're looking for something better, well, I'm here to share the good word of shaving.
This is something I think the newbies are wondering. Like, these shaving kits can get really nice and they cost a lot to get as a whole kit, even though that's the best deal. Is there a better way I can start out? And if so, what do you recommend?
Yeah, actually there are some really good ways to start out. You can start out with a really inexpensive razor. Right now, you can get tons of them on Amazon for less than 10 bucks. You can get a decent razor that's going to treat you fairly well. You can also get inexpensive soaps such as Arco, Palmolive. There's all kinds of creams and soaps and all that kind of stuff. Especially in Europe, there are lots of inexpensive products that you can use to get a good shave with. And blades are inexpensive, razors are inexpensive. You can get a brush for 8 to 10 bucks. So I mean, you can get a whole starter kit for 30 bucks, and that'll last you way longer than a few of your Gillette cartridges, because those are really expensive.
Do you recommend any cheap products that I can get started with? Because I don't really want to throw down $50, $100, $200 on a razor and blades, etc. Like, I'd really like to try it out. It's the clean shaving like you do, but I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of commitment.
Like I said, there are a lot of inexpensive products that you can try out. One that I would recommend is an Omega S brush. It's a synthetic brush that's very inexpensive. You can pick it up on Amazon. The Minotaur razor, I haven't tried it personally, but it's available on Amazon. It's a very similar design to the Edwin Jagger DE89 or Mula R89 design. Same kind of head, just a little different feel, cheaper material, but still gives a decent shave. There are all kinds of creams that you can use, soaps that you can use. Arco is one of them that it's kind of polarizing, but Palmolive, also very inexpensive. Old Spice, Williams, Vanderhagen, there's all kinds of stuff that out there that is inexpensive and relatively easy to use. And as for aftershaves, get a simple lotion, Nivea aftershave lotion or something like that, that will do a decent job of conditioning your skin after you're done, and you're out the door 25, 30 bucks.
What would you say to someone who's interested in getting into shaving but who doesn't really want a routine with shaving? He just wants to throw on the soap but have a nice, good shave. Would you still recommend this type of shaving, or would you recommend sticking with a cheap blade from the store?
If you're looking for quick and easy, it will come eventually. It takes some practice to get good at it and to get quick at it. I generally tend to not rush through my shaves just because it's my me time. I do it to enjoy it. I do it to relax and to have fun. So I don't necessarily blast through my shaves. If that's what you're looking for, then your quickest, fastest option, easiest option is probably going to be the cartridge razors. But if you're looking for a more enjoyable experience, you can't have it both ways. Sorry. It's either enjoyable or quick.
Will I ever grow hair on my face? Will I ever be a real boy?
Gonna have to ask your dad on that one. Anyway, thanks Bruce for the questions, and thanks for sharing your channel with me. It's a lot of fun to reconnect with some old friends, and it's so much fun for me. And these are legitimate questions that a lot of people will likely have. So thank you for the questions, and I hope that these answers answer your questions. If you ever have any questions for me, if any of my viewers or you, Bruce, or anybody out there really has any questions for me about what I would recommend for shaving, please feel free to ask. Put it down in the comment section below. I love hearing from my viewers, and I look forward to responding and helping in any way that I can. So that's it for me for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to find me on all my social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, Snapchat, all those. I'm out there. Find me, The Clean Shaver. You can find me there. If you haven't already, make sure that you click the little subscribe button down at the bottom, and you get more updates on upcoming videos. I've got a lot of stuff coming out. Seriously, I've got a list of products that I'm going to be trying out over the next month or so, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure to stay tuned, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Be smooth, everybody. Shave it up. We'll see you next time.